Hello, welcome to this special edition of this podcast. My name is Mr. Deki, and you're live on Teso TV and Econ TV.
Yeah, and of course, today we are bringing you massive discussions here. It's one of the biggest entertainment discussions that we are bringing to you guys. My name is Nathan Yagu. We left home to change home, and we are live in Soroti. Mr. Deke.
Yes.
I would like to say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
It's been a great journey from 2024 till, of course, coming to 2025. Several people have not been able to make it. People have been getting accidents. Others have passed on the road accidents. But we're actually still alive. This is actually something so great. What do you have to say about the year?
It has been really challenging, I would love to say. But all we give is glory, Almighty God. We're still alive. And the year is beginning on a different style. Today is 3rd of January 2025.
Yeah.
And the special year, I would love to say. Next year we're heading towards elections. That's 2026.
Yeah, 2026. But of course, we shall be having maybe primaries and of course people campaigning this year. But nevertheless, we shall actually be able to observe them and see who exactly is going to make it back to Parliament or maybe to the Council. We shall be observing them.
All right, all that is going to become to your way right here on this podcast. But first things first, we're here to discuss a lot of issues that have been mounting in the streets of Soroti, street children, and the use of drugs in the streets.
Yeah, actually talking about that, we have a number of street kids actually hyping up most of the corridors around Soroti. When you look at one of the major places we have is Town Talks. We are finding young kids actually moving there each and every day. What new faces coming up? What's really happening?
I think beginning from the first point is that these children leave their home, maybe due to a few challenges.
Yeah.
And I realize that if you're a parent and how you discipline your children is one of the reasons, and how you talk to your children is one of the few reasons that lead these children to leave home. You find that maybe some of these children also, you find that they have good parents, they have money, they have everything.
Yeah, that's very
But
true.
how you talk to them, how you dress them, really will make them go wild.
Yeah.
And they leave home. At the end of the day, they also have a peer groups they move with. Like someone maybe influencing them to, hey, come on, move the street, come and do this. You find that maybe you're going to the club and you're going back home, you find the door is closed, you're not going anywhere. At the end of the day, you're introduced to drugs. And I've realized that of days, these children, use of drugs is going high in Soroti.
Yeah, it's actually growing so big. Maybe Mr. Deke, let's look at maybe a few reasons as why some of these kids actually leave home. Then we tap into the issues of drugs because personally, I've seen some of them sniffing. Whatever they sniff, we don't know. But in this discussion, we shall actually be sharing out what they sniff from those bottles or maybe some of those hankies that they carry. But first things first, Mr. Deke.
Yeah.
Maybe some of the challenges why some of these kids have been forced into the streets of Soroti.
I realize that our challenges can amount from family background, financial situations.
Yes.
That's very understandable. Like every other family out there, you find that there is a problem of financial struggle. You find that mamiti kapon. Times of taking care of children. Also, and becomes a bit hard to take care of those children. And also, when you move ahead, you find that peer influence from the fellow friends, they move the age brackets.
That's very true.
Take an example. You're 12 years. Maybe I have a friend who is kind of a man who loves going to the street all the time, going to the club all the time. And maybe I come from a family. I feel like I need to do the same way what my friend does. And I'm also be forced to leave my home and go to the street because I want to hustle out from the street. And also, I would love to say the other one is, negligence. Parents tend to negligate their children. You get, who even lose focus of taking care of. We've seen, I would love to say, like children who are born though they catch Uriak to abandon them.
Yes.
They're abandoned usually in the streets. Achapaka Urunachak no street nin. Such children usually become a problem in the society. So I feel there's so many number of reasons I can give, but for now, let's first speak up from there.
Okay, I think I can just maybe add on a few. We have seen also domestic violence. You find maybe father is always beating.
Too arrogant.
Beating, yes, so arrogant. To the extent that he's even beating to Tokidue. What do you expect of the kids? They end up
I think this is a point when we need to see parents out there to look at the children and say, yo, these are my children. I would love to, to advocate for or beating my wife, beating my children in front of my, beating my wife in front of my children. Usually, these children look and they see what you do, and they become so annoyed, and they're like, I can never be in such a home whereby my father, is beating up my mother while I'm sick. Let me just leave home. Let me just move out of this home. Let me just leave them to stay in this house. Which is really some of the biggest challenge people go out there, and this calls upon all the parents. Let's be respectful. Let's try to behave humor when we're with our children.
Yeah, and of course, you realize that domestic violence also most times moves with the. Maybe one of the parents is always consuming alcohol, comes back home, so drunk, and comes to start causing fights. Anyway, nevertheless, we are still moving with our program. Mr. Deke, we have touched on the challenges on why most of these kids actually forced into the streets of Soroti. I also have them. I was surprised when I moved to Toroma. Some village in Toroma, they also have street kids around their town.
Right, when we look at Toroma is a small place. I would never expected that to happen.
Yeah, that's very true.
Sometimes these children are forced to leave their home, nothing to eat.
That's true.
And when you look at maybe Toroma is a place, and also I'm no longer hearing about wars, happening in such places. And usually these kids leave their home because they lack nothing to eat, and they come to the streets maybe to hustle, look something to have, and they're leaving just to make sure that the night is gone. You find that we've seen very many of them, but nothing to do. Toroma is a very small place, and this calls upon the leaders to act upon it. Why are you leaving? Call these children, interact with them. Why are they leaving home? Why are they leaving home? Sometimes, why are they leaving home to go in such places? You get it? So, at the end of the day, it's these children leave home because they need to get something to eat. Toroma is open like the remote place, and not like Soroti City. That's just maybe a district or whatever, maybe a sub-county, wherever it is maybe. And usually it forces them to leave home because they need to get something to eat. Yes.
And then we also realize out of them being around the streets, we have found some of the challenges have also sparked out by the presence of these kids around the street. You realize in Soroti, some of these kids are already snatching property. People, which is very bad.
Yeah, we always have seen that any street child, you're growing up in the street, you know what it means. If you've been in the street and you know these street children, that's how they live.
Yeah, the hustle there is not actually so easy. The hustle is not easy. So the best they can do, snatching, the things from people that they're not familiar with. Yes.
They see you're new in the city, they first do one thing, welcome you in the city.
Yeah.
But how best can we be able to combat them down? That's a question that we should be asking each other. How best should we be able to help these children?
I think
that's the most important thing.
Mr. Deke, in the previous years, we have seen some of the authorities trying to arrest these kids and take them to rehabilitation centers, but we are still surprised. The number is growing each and every time. The number is actually growing, but nevertheless, we are actually still observing and are trying to reach out to some of the leaders to see what can be done to actually see that the number is reducing. But
first of all, I need to appreciate local authorities that are trying to combat everything, whatever they're doing, put in place.
Yes.
I want to appreciate each and everybody who is trying to see that these children removed from the street. First of all, I want to call upon, I just want to say, not for calling upon, I just want to say the authorities responsible for the city councils.
Yes.
Get these children. Get this, what happened, Kampala capital city Soroti, what they did. They picked these children, identify their home grounds, where they come from, contact operation in the city, pick them up, and
they're taken back to their places.
Taking back their sisters, where they come from.
Yes.
Take them back. Also, create for them, skill them, identify and create the skilling institutions for these children. When you have a skilling institution, you're able to pick these adults, like they've grown up, these grown up children, take an example from 18 years of age, pick them, take them to the skilling institutions, pay them, skill them. After skilling them, give them with something, starting capital, to start open for them, what they call startup. Business.
Okay, Mr. Deke, actually, according to me, I think it's better for these kids to actually be given skills because they moved out of home because of challenges. So I think that idea that you've mentioned about skilling, I think that one will be actually so great, and I would actually call upon the leaders to come in and give in skills. I think skills is better. I don't know what I think about it because you take me back. I am running out of poverty, and you take me back to a place where there's poverty.
Yeah, that's what I was earlier telling you about it. This should start from the leaders responsible, the city council. Take an example in Soroti here. They have what they call city council.
Yes.
City council is responsible maybe of going down, pick the children, and take them, maybe gather the place, an institution, ask them what they need to do, like an independent, consult with the child, what the child is able to do, Then after you do that, you can be able to put the local child in the best place he or she is able to do. Because you may tell him, you want to skill me, I'm not good at, maybe you're telling him to do something, you get it. So you need to treat them with love, treat them with someone you feel like, I don't want to mess up with them. At the end of the day, we'll go back in the street. They end up going back to again have something in the street. Have them do something they love. Have them identify what they need to do. Before even take them to school, let them know what they want to do. Have a special meeting with them. Because I'm sure if these children have their leaders too.
Yeah,
they have their small leaders.
Yeah, that's
young.
very true. That's very true.
That's why you see, if you at least be able to approach the leaders response for these children. Let me give an example. In Soroti City, there is a president responsible for those children in the street.
Yeah, that's very true. And
some of them is responsible for those children in the street. They are also called what they call a street president for them.
Yes.
Don't think when you beat these children and they run back and they take what they call disciplinary committee.
Yes.
Someone responsible disciplining you. They take you the room there. They also have their office.
And they discipline them.
Yeah, they discipline you. So to me, I feel that is really the most important point. I would love to say, let the local leaders, let the local authorities identify these children, take them to school, skill them. From there, they can be able to earn a living. Taking them back home also to their homes, it's one move, maybe reducing the number of maybe street trafficking of children in the streets, because they'll have time to have their family members talk to them. But the best is skill them, give them something to do. You'll make them busy. At the end of the day, they are busy. See, always what they call a mind.
Yes.
When you sit at home and you relax, you have nothing to do, you find that you're stressed. A lot's going on in your mind. But when you're busy, your mind is busy, you'll not be stressed.
Yeah, actually, that's very true. From wherever you are listening to us from this podcast, brought to you by Teso TV, Econ TV. I'm together with Mr. Deke. My name is Nathan Yagu, left home to change your mind. Of course, we want to appreciate the CEO at Tawi for actually powering this podcast today. So in case you've not got yourself an Atawi shirt, either jumper, you should actually get yourself one. Mr. Deke, yes. I see you're looking so good on that shirt of yours over Tawi. You're really looking so good. How much was that? How much did you buy it?
Usually it's something that I wouldn't love to say, Barry, you know the price. I wouldn't have to go deep. Someone, I leave in your price. Someone will say, how comes? But you can't tell them.
Yeah, you see, it's not actually so expensive. Look, when I say now, look, and you do me Saturday and Apollo or street and then see the street and back having a single Kabaka. So make sure you drop down some comments. Tell us what you think about the discussion that we have inside here.
And also adding something about the street children. You know what they call mental illness. What they call wild with mental illness.
Rather, the mental health.
Yeah, the mental health.
Yes.
It's one of the by the way a problem that's affecting most of the people. Mental health.
Yeah, most of them are getting affected because of use of drugs right now. Yeah, as in this street.
So you find someone doing drugs, you don't know what's causing that person to do drugs.
Yes.
There's something going on that person's mind. And also you want to ask which type of drugs is a question maybe you want to ask first of all. Which type of drugs? You know, this case we do, there are people who do drugs, different style of drugs.
Yeah.
There's those who do marijuana, those who do enjaga. Enjaga is marijuana something?
I think it's almost related.
Marijuana is cocaine.
Yes.
In the other way of translating it. Then you have what they call emulondo. It's also a drug. Yes, by people eat it strictly. Then there is nyami alien skin. That's called
emirangun.
Emira.
Emirangun. Nyami ngolekele epike are maide
Nyamtorijo.
No, I'm just actually telling you what I've been observing.
How do you know that? That means you've ever done something like that.
No, when you saw move around the street, you tell you quickly the case you can
called the lock. How it's lock or something?
Emirage.
You don't want to put blood in mouth here.
You seem to be an expert.
No, I see. One time I was moving. Growing up in the street, I know about these things, but I don't do them. There's moving people, but I see them doing it, but I don't do them.
You seem to be having the features of a Mirage.
Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you're watching us and listening us at the same time, thank you very much for that. We appreciate your time. We appreciate the love. Just want to appreciate everybody from wherever you are. Thank you very much. Our producer, Emma, thank you very much for always making sure that we're on the point. We bring this podcast at any time, anywhere. Not forgetting Nathan Iago, the crime guy says left home and to change home.
Yeah, that's very true. I need to change him.
Okay.
Yes, I need to change him.
So, as we wind up with this, we're heading towards 2026.
Yeah, 2026. But it's still far.
Remember, we are organizing what they call hot seats.
Yeah, actually, for those who are listening right now, we shall be having a new and, of course, interesting programs whereby we shall be holding the politicians accountable. They're coming to talk to us and bring up different manifestos. But we also have those who have been leading us before, and they made some manifestos before, and they have failed to fulfill some of those. We need to remind them of what they promised us and what exactly they have to do about some of those things that they promised us. Let's hold them. Let's not remain there waiting for amunyu, besukali, suja sabunyu. No, this time is going to be changing. You need to hold you facing a camera and tell us why you didn't do what you promised. Mama resi balajo be isumunsi borekeni ijelo pibuta enga kona ituke that channel. So it's better come and face the camera and tell us why you didn't do that.
What they call unanswered questions.
Yes,
people.
Yeah,
you promised them. I know nenge gudo ngono lai. Abuki nenge segilo. I kwa ikine ngo Bible.
Yes, exactly. Dobo egilo ngwe barajo albe rutongo ikoni aras kon kapuna na bola pugan. You know, some of these politicians have been trying to play around with some of our minds. Ikapula pugan that they still say bali kiskapunun. So it's better they come and answer some of those questions that are not yet answered while they are seated on the hot seat.
All that coming your way right here on Econ TV and Teso TV.
It has been so interesting. My name is Nathan Iago. We left home to change home.
I told you my name is called Mr. Deke. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. We appreciate your time. Take a step step subscribe, turn on notification bell,
and share
so that you don't miss whenever we upload a new video.
Oh, yeah.